My name is Shad Carter. I'm 42 years old. I'm from Oakland, California, and I've been in Vegas for 7 years. I think I want to start my story around maybe 15. Actually, a little bit younger than that. I'd say around 12 years old. That's when I first moved to Oakland from Pasadena, California. And really, I can start in Pasadena. Right before I came to Oakland, I was introduced to drugs and to gangs, just from my older cousins and friends and just neighborhood. You know how it is in the neighborhood. So that was my first introduction to that life, and I kind of admired it. You know. So then I moved to Oakland, Oakland. I was a little bit older, met some friends, and immediately started selling drugs, selling crack cocaine. And I was addicted to the money, loved the money. The lifestyle I even liked. You know, it was dangerous, and I don't understand why I liked it, but, you know, it was just some excitement that came along with it. So sold drugs for years, in and out of jail. I had a lot of possession of sales, and as I got older, I started to just experiment with drugs a little bit. I had a lot of, I had some older people that I hung with, and they, some of them snorted cocaine, you know, so my first experience with snorting cocaine was like around 16. I still remember my OG partner, he was trying to get me to smoke crack, but, you know, I just wasn't into the whole smoking crack thing. Not saying that powder cocaine is any better than rock cocaine, because in my opinion, they're the same. But at that time, I thought, you know, I thought differently. So anyway, so I started snorting cocaine with my OG partners, and I liked it. You know, so from there I just kept on going, and it just kind of evolved into a huge habit. So as it evolved into this habit, now I'm not selling drugs like I used to. You know, I'm not making a lot of money. I'm spending more money on coke and alcohol, and then women come along with it. So excuse my, no, I'm not gonna say it that way. I was messing off a lot of money. You know, what I'd make, I'd spend immediately. You know, so okay, now I'm doing coke. Doing that but I'm maintaining. As I'm doing it, I'm still looking like me and everything. I'm still, you know, I can. My family, they can kind of tell that something is going on, but you know, I'm really not. It's really not that bad. So then I was introduced to heroin at the age of, I want to say 20 years old. So I met through a friend of mine. Actually, it was my kid's mother. My kid's mother, her cousin. We started hanging out, and she did heroin, and you know, I was already used to snorting stuff, so yeah, I never shot it, but I used to snort heroin, and man, from there my life took a downward spiral. It went down fast. So now I'm dealing with a mental and a physical addiction, and I was addicted to heroin for years. I'm gonna say at least 7 years. I was addicted to heroin. Now this is when everything just kind of really came to, no, I won't say came to a head. I did a lot of stuff when I was on heroin. Uh, I used to steal. I robbed so many places and people, and used to go into stores and steal, because you got to support your habit when you're on heroin. And it's not just like it's physical. So you got to get up every day, and you got to hustle, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to get out there and get that money. So I was living like that for 7 years. Because of heroin, my family kind of, had to stop dealing with me. Friends of mine that, the same guys I used to sell dope with, now I'm a dope fiend. So, they stopped dealing with me, except for a few true blues. They still hung out with me or tried to help when they seen me, throw me a couple of dollars or try to put me back on with some dope. And that didn't help, because, I'd get that away just for, I guess you would call it, fix or whatever. I couldn't even function as a dope dealer anymore, which is cool, because that stuff is bad news anyway. So by that time I had 2 kids. Wasn't taking care of my kids. I did the best. All I had was time for them, because I didn't have money, none of that. I remember I used to take my kids to a park, and it was where everybody sold. It was where you could go buy. You could buy heroin there too, and it was just a low point in my life, because I remember always taking my kids to the park, and it still haunts me to this day. They having fun on the swings, and playing around, and they thinking they there just to go to the park, but it's really I was there to to buy dope. You know what I'm saying? And we did that all the time, and my kids never knew. At least I don't think they knew what we were there for. But like I said, it was a low time. It was just, I took my kids out as when I was boosting from stores, just as a diversion. I ain't proud of that. But like I say, it was a bad time. So the next thing that happened after the heroin thing, I got locked up for a year. I just kept on catching violations, and I had a gun and dope, and I actually got off pretty lucky, because I only got a year in the county jail. Which I could have went to prison and all that other stuff. But anyway, got a year. And I knew in jail I wanted to change my life. This is where my journey first, my mind changed, I transformed, if you will. I was tired of living on the streets. My family ain't messing with me. I'm homeless. I'm riding the trains all night. So, and that's something I forgot to mention, that so when I was homeless, and I used to ride the trains all night. I'd ride until like 2 in the morning, I think it's the last train. So then it starts up again at 5, so I would just sleep wherever I could, and I'd get back on the train and ride until the police kicked me off or something, And that's a low time in my life. I still remember that, how cold it is. And I don't know if anybody know about the Bay Area, but it's foggy, it drizzles all the time, and it's cold and windy. You know what I'm saying? So it's no fun at all, But anyway, moved past that. I moved to, I guess, the valley. It's way inland, and with a girlfriend at the time. I'm all excited. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm finna change my life. I'm getting away from Oakland, man. I'm gonna be out here with, and just do everything different. Nope, didn't do nothing different. Found immediately found the same people that was in Oakland. It was like I was looking for them, you know, found them. And this time it wasn't heroin though. I started messing with crystal meth. Again, snorting it, started out snorting it, right? So crystal meth is a whole nother beast itself. That thing is, I say that thing because you know, it's a spirit for sure. You know what I'm saying? That is, bar none, the worst drug out there, period. So I started messing with crystal, and oh boy, that stuff drove me crazy. You know, it drove me crazy. I started to hear voices and to really trip out. But around that time, let me throw in that I was on methadone. This is important why I'm saying this. I was on methadone for as detox from the heroin. So I'm no longer dope sick, anything like that. I just dose every day and I'm good. You know, I can function. So now I'm doing methamphetamines, and I'm still taking my dose for the heroin or whatever. And I met my wife around this time, Mia. And so we get married or whatever. She had no idea about the drug use because, like I said, I was on methadone, so I appeared healthy and cool. I had a job, you know, so everything seemed to be all right, you know. So we got married. Immediately she got pregnant, and I started like really, oh man, I started really getting bad off of the meth, you know. So now I'm hearing voices. I'm just tweaked out. You know, it's hard to explain unless you ever been through it. But you hear voices and things seem so real. It's past paranoia. You know what I'm saying? It's past paranoia because you actually not just hearing stuff, you're seeing it too. And it's, you know, people are acting strange, and it's just hard. That's why I know it's spiritual. It's so hardcore spiritual, you can't even understand. It's like, it's terrible. So I'm using meth, and my wife, she's still, surprisingly, she's still hung in there with me. And but all the time encouraging me, you know, to stop, and doing everything she can to help me, you know. Her mother, Mama Duffy, I love you. Her sisters, all of them, they, you know, very supportive and never really judged me because of my addiction or what I had going on, you know. They always saw something better to me. My family too. My mama, can't forget about my mom, you know. She always stuck with me, even though she gave me hard truths, like, you know, you're not doing right. And I could even go, you know, I've done took my mama's car and all type of stupid stuff, you know, during the addiction. But anyway, they still stuck with me through it all. But so I'm on heroin. I mean, I'm on crystal meth, and like I say, I'm hearing voices, and I'm really tripping out. I can't hold down a job now because I can't even work with it, because voices is bothering me so much. I'm thinking that it's some mass conspiracy, people at the job, you set me up and everything, so I quit, you know. And I tried to go back to work, but I couldn't. It was just too much stuff going on. But just fast forward to all that. I said all that to say this here, that in that addiction is where I met God. And it's not like just one day I was, I just kind of, you know, fell away from the job. I just got some strength from somewhere. No, I'm telling you, mine was like supernatural, like right here, right now, talking to me. You know, that's why I know God is real. And I'll never forget it. I had been battling with the meth addiction, you know, on and off. I tried to stop by myself, you know, and I don't know why I kept on going back to it, you know. The addictive nature, you can call it whatever you want to, you know what I'm saying? But I had tried for a long time. So I remember this particular day, I did it. And I remember, like I told you before, I hear voices when I do it, but this one was different. So I was in my living room, and I did a line of it, and the voices started, you know, and then they say all type of stuff that I can't even repeat because, you know, it's just know it was bad, you know what I'm saying, and cussing and all that, you know, and I can laugh now because, you know, I actually used to talk back to him like, you know, like I was really cussing somebody out or something. That's because I thought it was other people, you know, in that. But anyway, voices started again, you know, and I remember times past when it used to get so bad. I used to I'd pray, you know, and I guess it's important to add that I really didn't believe in God at the time when this happened. I mean, I had a form of belief. You know, I knew that I'm supposed to believe in God. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to. My mama believed. I didn't been to church my whole life. My granny, you know, all of them, you know, and I mean, not just believe like go to church on Sunday. I mean, these is like the old saints. You know what I'm talking about? They for real with it. You know, only thing you're gonna get is some word from them, and they may not give you no money, but they gonna feed you, they gonna love on you. You know, when I started using and I started hearing the voices and everything, I started to pray. And I was like, Lord, you know, I take this away from me. I don't wanna go through this, you know, but yet I didn't wanna stop using. But at that time, telling you, God, he spoke to me plain as day. And I don't know how I knew it was God. I don't know how I knew it was different than what I was hearing, because the voices that I was hearing was very real and very strong. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at one point when I used to go to pray, the house would rumble. You know what I'm saying? Where I'd get on my knees and I would hear boom, like something strong in the room. And I was like, it used to scare me. I'm like, why every time I go to pray, you know what I mean, things want to start shaking and tripping, you know? And so I still would do it though. I'm trying to break through. I need to, you know, leave this alone. And that's when I first started noticing that spiritual things are real, man. The devil's, that boy is real. Demons is real. So, like I say, when I used to pray, room rumble and everything, this particular time, I get on my knees and I'm like, Lord, you know, I want to change. I can't deal with this, you know, I don't want this. And, you know, I'm started hearing stuff like, you're gonna die. And, you know what I mean, you take one more hit, you're gonna die. Of course, I'm very good at disobedience. So of course, I took one more. Every time it told me I was gonna die, I was like, okay, let's see. And I take another one. But this particular time this is what changed my life. God spoke to me when I prayed this time. And he said, Shad, plain as day. I said, yes, Lord. It's like I knew who he was, right? I was like, yes, Lord. And he said, do you want to be delivered? And I was like, yeah, yes, I do. And he told me he said, something like this very moment, you something, you know, it's been a while, but he said, you're delivered, basically, to sum it up. And I was like, okay, and by this time, now this didn't happen just in one day. This was like days of stuff. It started with that statement, do you want to be delivered? That's what he said. You know what I'm saying? I said yes, and then after that, he was talking to me, And I was actually talking to angels too. You know what I'm saying? And just to tell you a little bit about that story, they were actually telling me stuff about my life and telling me stuff that I forgot, you know, and telling me how God had me covered and had me covered through everything I did. And by this, it's just crazy. They were telling me when I did this as a kid, you know, God had me in His hand and had me and protected me. You know, they told me about all the so many foolish things I did, you know, that I forgot about. You know, and I was like, wow, by this time I'm crying. I can't even tell you how many, I think that it was 3 days that I talked with those angels. And I didn't know nothing about the Bible. You know, they told me where to turn to, what I needed to read. They was like, now turn to so and so and so, and I was reading it, and they were reading it at the same time. I'm telling you, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? They was reading it at the same time, and they was like, do you know what that means? And I'm like, no, you know. And they were like breaking it down, and I'm like, oh my, this is too much. You know what I'm saying? And the joy I felt inside is indescribable. The last thing they told me when they left, they said that we're not going to be able to talk to you like this no more, Shad. They said, whatever you need to know about God, and if you want to talk to, you know, anything you need to know about God is in the Bible. They said, read the Bible, but we're not going to talk like this. And they said, be careful what spirits you talk to, because you don't know who they are. Get all your information from the Bible. I was at peace for the first time in ever, you know, and I wish I tried to hold on to that, but you know, it was for a season, for that time, you know, for my deliverance at that point. But I still have peace today, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that kind of peace. That was something that, anyway, so they're telling me, turn to this and turn to that, and don't you know that nothing operates outside of the will of God, you know, just giving me little nuggets like that. And I'm understanding and I'm hearing, and, you know, they're telling me about my family lineage and who I am, and, you know, and I'm like, wow. And I remember this one particular time I tried to say thank you, and they said, don't thank us. You know what I'm saying? It's not them, you know, it's God. Thank Jesus is what they said. You know, and so then that killed everything for me. That, you know how some people say that Jesus, that ain't even his real name, and we don't know who he is, and all that crap, you know what I mean? But the angel said, thank Jesus. When that whole episode was finished, I still didn't believe it. That quick, I started thinking like, man, your mental just cracked hardcore, man. You need to really sit down somewhere, because, and I started thinking, oh yeah, I ain't coming back from this one, because, you know, like I said, it was more than voices. It was intense, but it was great joy. By the next day, you know, my family, they worried about me because I'm looking weird. I'm all happy, smiling. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to people. I can function, and I can, you know, I can interact, but, you know, I still got this feeling in me that it's so much joy, and I'm amazed, and I'm like optimistic about life, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this. God is real. You know what I'm saying? There's really something after this. You know what I'm saying? That this is not, man, you know, serving the Lord is not in vain. You know what I'm saying? You just not gonna cease to exist at the end of your life and just be, you know nothing. You know what I'm saying? You are gonna be with the Lord. And it's for real, you know? So when I kept on waiting, I was like, you know what? Okay, mental state, crack, whatever. You know, I'm going back and forth. I'm like, okay, God is real, but I don't think this is real. You know, I think I'm just losing it. So I waited. I said, man, I'm gonna be dope sick soon, because He said, if God said I'm delivered, that means I don't need to take my methadone, right? Okay, well, cool. So I'm like, we gonna see. I waited. Oh, matter of fact, no, I didn't even say we gonna see. I hurried up the next day and cut off my methadone, like, just like, yeah, this real. But like I said, I was going back and forth. And as soon as I did it, I immediately regretted it. But I got scared, But I waited. First day, I was cool, but I knew that's how it is. It's usually the second and third day you're gonna start feeling it. Second day came, nothing. Third day, I'm like, okay, it's finna hit any time now. Nothing never came. That's not true. A little bit came. I mean, it was so little that I could still eat, I could still function, I was just amazed. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, I'm not getting sick. God, I can't believe this. And one thing that I forgot to add, that when I was talking to the angels, they said that if I needed strength, to ask for it, to just simply say, Lord, strengthen me, or God, strengthen me, something like that. And when I used to say that, it's almost like I could feel his power entering into my body, and anything that I was feeling, if I was starting to, my mind was weighing on me like, oh, you not delivered, you not, you feeling sick, because your mind is strong, and even if you're not physically feeling sick, your mind can talk you into it, and then it'll be physical before you know it, But I used to just ask for strength from the Lord, and I could feel it, So fast forward past that. Well, I hate to fast forward because it was just so good. I always wanted to stay in there, but such is life. You can't stay in one place. You got to keep on progressing. So, okay, I'm delivered now. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm so on fire. I don't even, look, I read the Bible at night. I read it during the day. I wasn't working at the time, so I used to go to the park and just read. It was like God wasn't giving me no rest. He was like, he used to tell me, you just read. That's all I could do. You know what I'm saying? Read at night. It was like it was an urgency on me. You know what I'm saying? Like he was putting urgency in it, like read. You know what I'm saying? So I would do that. I finished off the Old Testament, and I started on the on New Testament. And at that time, it started, God kind of backed up off me a little bit and gave me a little rest period, And at that time, around that time, Mama Duffy and my wife's sisters, all them, Quiggy and all them moved up to Vegas. And so my wife wanted to come. And I told her we could come to Vegas, just give a little while, and let's get everything together here, So we had an apartment out there, and I just didn't want to walk away like that. It's stuff that needs to be done, and you got to put in notices and all that. You just don't walk off. Anyway, we ain't go. My wife came up here, and she came up here to visit her sisters. Next thing I know, she like, baby, I got a job up here in Vegas. I was so hot. I was like, okay. So that's how we doing it. We go up to visit places and, don't come back home. All right, so, and truthfully, I was like, I hope Vegas good to you, because I'm staying in the Bay. That's just the truth. That's how I was feeling. I was mad, but I got over it. I'm like, okay, she really like, God is telling me to move to Vegas. I'm like, nah, your family out here, that's what it is. But I really believe that she heard from God to come up here, because it's just amazing how, the transition went from God delivering me, and then he's telling me that this is what I need to do, and to read the word, and he's putting an urgency on me. Then I come up here and immediately come to New Beginnings, like my second day here, you know, and Pastor Smith, you know what I'm saying? He's a serious dude about that word, you know, and it's just taking me to another level. It's like I know this was ordained by God for me to be here, you know, and for me to learn, and for me to, you know, start the next chapter of this walk with him, you know. So now I'm here, and since I've been here, and since I've been in New Beginnings, and, you know, just really taking God seriously, that's what I think is important to say, you know, because we all claim that we love the Lord and we know the Lord and all that good stuff. But, you know, you can claim you love him, you can claim you know him, but are you taking him seriously? You know what I'm saying? Because hold on. Hallelujah. All right. You gotta take him seriously, because life is not, it's not a joke. You only got one. And what you do determines where you go. And once this is over, you're not gonna have another shot. You know what I'm saying? And okay. You just gotta, you know, you can say you love him all day, but you need to read that word and take it seriously and do what he says. And I don't mean that, I know that it's not gonna be perfect. You know what I'm saying? That you're gonna you're gonna hit and miss. You know, you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. But life is so much better when you put God first. Since I've been here, bought a house, you know, would have never thought I'd have did that. You know, my kids, they're flourishing, they're growing up, knowing God, they're happy, they're healthy. You know, they don't know none of that Oakland stuff. My older kids do, you know, but I apologize all the time, and I put God first in their life right now, because I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing about the past, you know what I'm saying? But I can just keep on pressing, you know, towards the mark right now, and trying to lay a foundation even for my older ones, you know, that's seen all the ridiculous stuff I did. And, you know, we just got to keep on growing in the Lord. So God is good, and I'm happy about everything I've been through, because it led to this point right now. I hope this testimony helps somebody who needs it, who's going through drug addiction, or even just being hopeless for whatever's going on. I hope it helps you, and I want you to know that God is real, and God can change your life. Just give him a chance. Just keep on praying, no matter what. Keep on praying, keep on asking, and he'll deliver you out of your situation. My name is Shad Carter, and I've overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the words of my testimony. So I had S. serve everyone with dignity and respect. I'm gonna put these notes down real quick. Because serve everyone with dignity and respect hits home for me. Can I tell you a little story? A story. 10, maybe 15 years ago, I found myself on drugs. You know, before that, was a drug dealer. Always worked, you know, but respect, the word respect hit hard for me because anybody know in that life, you know, when you run in them streets, respect is all you really have. But when you find yourself going down a road, you know, being on drugs, you lose a lot of respect. You know, you can't maneuver in the hood like you used to. You know, your people are still your friends, but they keep you at a distance because they don't want to be associated with you, you know. So as you continue to go down, you know, you find yourself in a pit where you can't look up, you don't know where to go, you don't see no way out. You understand what I'm saying? But I remember everybody who said, brother, it's all right, you're going to be all right. Get on up, come on out of this place. You don't have to stay here. That's why it's important to serve